Welcome to the Herd's official YouTube channel. Make sure to like and subscribe. Don't forget to check out the Colin Cowherd podcast, all of our NFL instant reactions, and more football content. Here we go. It is a Wednesday. We're in Chicago. Beautiful day. Live. It's the Herd, wherever you may be. However you may be listening, whatever platform it is. Thanks for making us part of your day. Joel Klatt in 1 hour. Got another look at the college football rankings, which becomes the college football playoff. You know, I saw this morning certain things that just make me smile. I don't know if you saw this, J-Mac. Do you know the highest graded quarterback in the NFL the last 2 weeks?
Oh, boy. Let me get a guess. I'll go Caleb Williams.
Interesting. Isn't this funny? Highest rated PFF quarterback all year is a former Trojan, and currently the hottest USC Trojan. I'm telling you, they're coming back. I'm telling you. So I was thinking about this. Success in any field, could be law, education. It's mostly masonry, one brick at a time. Great parenting isn't the weekend birthday parties. It's Monday through Friday, 7A to 7P. Caleb Williams was flashy last year. Caleb Williams is still flashy this year. But you want to know why he's the highest graded quarterback? It's all the masonry. He proves that young, talented quarterbacks, even super, hyper-talented quarterbacks, they just need a baseline of support and common sense. Ben Johnson takes this job. Does he say, Caleb, I want more zany, flashy plays? No. The first thing he addresses, we got to get better at guard, center, guard. Not even the most dynamic offensive line positions. The big uglies in the middle of the O-line. They get Jonah Jackson, Drew Dahlman. They get Joe Tooney. Guard, center, guard. The second thing he says, hey, I got to ask you something, Caleb. Can you not run backwards? I want to eliminate the negative plays and the pre-snap penalties. Two basic masonry laying brick needs. And suddenly, he's the hottest quarterback in the league. Because when you're not first and 15 or first and 20 or second and 28 because you got sacked running backwards, you run the ball better and you run the ball more often. And that helps the quarterback. Now, Patrick Mahomes, the way he entered the league, Hall of Fame coach, great GM, great owner, Hall of Fame tight end, Pro Bowl wide receiver, that car had no flat tires. And Caleb entered the Bears with Eberflus and that staff and a bad O-line. There were 4 flat tires. But Caleb was not terrible last year. He was wildly flashy, 20 touchdowns, 6 picks. It's all the little stuff that makes great parenting and great quarterback. Yeah, we have much better protection, guard, center, guard. We don't have any negative plays, pre-snap stuff. What did Belichick say about Brady? With Tom, you're always playing in front of the sticks. It's never first and 15. It's never second and 22. Move the ball ahead. Because the wild, dynamic running thing, that is really, really easy for Caleb Williams. That's innate. That's natural. That's going to come. Caleb's success this year is on all the minutia of the NFL. Guard play. No pre-snap penalties. Last week, Minnesota had 8. Last week, the Rams had no penalties, either side. Efficiency matters whether you're at Meta, Fox Sports, or the Bears. The Bears are just they're more efficient. They're more stable. I was looking at Caleb Williams' passer rating last year. It was 88. This year, it's 92. You look at yards per attempt, 6.3 to 7.3. It's not that different. The one thing you see, the sacks, no negative plays. Therefore, you can establish a run game. Therefore, you're throwing on play action. You couldn't run the ball last year for Chicago. Between the sacks and the pre-snap stuff, you were throwing it because you had to throw it. Now you throw it because you want to throw it. Totally different. But as Greg Olsen said yesterday, the hyper-athletic stuff, that's just who he is. He'll always have that. What he needed was a grown-up coach to do the small stuff.
When things break down, in today's NFL, which is going to be often, pass protection is very difficult. The rushers are very good. Scheme is good. You have to have a quarterback that can make second level plays, meaning it's not the initial read. It's not the initial timing. I got a playoff script. He can do that as well as anyone as they continue to get him into more of the on-time rhythm component of Ben Johnson's drop-back game. If that continues to develop, that's what Chicago thought they were drafting last year.
Yeah. Caleb brings the sizzle, right? He brings the sizzle. Ben Johnson just brought in a better steak. Success is largely masonry in every field, one brick at a time, the little stuff. So I've always had a rule on my show, basically. I have opinions, and you can have opinion on my opinion. But I'm not going to have an opinion on your opinion on my opinion. I'll make an exception because I think this is instructive. So I said the other day, I said, Micah Parsons is a stud athlete, but through the years, this summer I had a conversation with a general manager, and he said, don't be surprised if Dallas moves off him, even though he's in his prime, because he's not a versatile player. He's a great athlete and a great player, and he's going to be a Hall of Famer. But the Cowboys tried to use him at linebacker, and it didn't work. He doesn't have fast eyes. He's one of those classic. Hassan Reddick was this. He's a much better player than Hassan Reddick. See quarterback, go get him. See ball, go get it. There's no knock on that. He's a world-class athlete. Well, he didn't like when I said that. He put up a tweet yesterday, said, hey, we just held Saquon Barkley to 60 rushing yards. Our only losses have been holding teams to 13 points. Man, sometimes can y'all please just blankety blank? Stop giving people mics or listening to trash. So let me just say this about your great job against Saquon Barkley. 7 of 9 Philadelphia Eagle games this year, Saquon Barkley has rushed for 60 yards or less. The Dallas Cowboys held him to 60 yards. The Eagles can't run the football this year. That wasn't great defense. That is the inability due to injuries and other reasons. Philly can't run the ball this year. That's why they're not as dominant. That was not a great Packer performance. It was a consistent Eagles run game performance. So the Cowboys defense last year with Micah, 31st. The Cowboys defense this year without Micah, 31st. And again, but the argument here isn't about who's right, me or Micah. This is instructive. There are certain players in the NFL, very, very infrequent professional athletes that do a bunch of stuff well. Wemby, ball handle, hit a three, block a shot, post move. Jokic can do everything. Best passer on the Nuggets. Best post guy on the Nuggets. Best rebounder mostly on the Nuggets. Best shooter at times on the Nuggets. That is rare. Ohtani can do everything. Most baseball players, the great ones, are Freddie Freeman. Man, can he hit. Ohtani can do everything. Jokic and Wemby are versatile. Luka's a great scorer. Carmelo Anthony was a great scorer. He wasn't a great playmaker, a great defender, a great rebounder. Melo and Luka are great scorers. And that, for great players, even great players, that's it. Christian McCaffrey's a versatile player. Bijan Robinson's a versatile player. Adrian Peterson was just a great running back. Micah is essentially Tyreek Hill. For the record, both traded in their prime. Tyreek Hill's never been a great blocker. He doesn't run great routes, but he'll probably make the Hall of Fame because, man, he is great with a deep ball. But Andy Reid moved off him. Brett Veach, arguably second best GM in the league, moved off him. They moved off him in his prime. And the Cowboys moved off Micah in his prime. Cleveland's not moving off Myles Garrett. Raiders aren't moving off Max Crosby. Steelers aren't moving off TJ Watt. Why? Because those are versatile edge rushers. Micah's not. In his run with the Dallas Cowboys, they were 23rd against the run. They got sacks. They got pressure. They were 23rd against the run. So what Micah is, he's Tyreek Hill. Both traded in their prime, both unbelievable, both will probably make the Hall of Fame, both highly productive. But Tyreek Hill isn't Larry Fitzgerald. Okay, Larry Fitzgerald could do Drake London, maybe the best red zone receiver. He can be an underneath receiver. Drake London can block. Drake London can be a deep threat. Drake London can be anything you want him to be. Larry Fitzgerald can be anything. Tyreek just goes deep. Micah is a C-ball, C quarterback, get it. And that has unbelievable value. But the Cowboys tried him at linebacker. I was told by a GM, doesn't have great eyes, can't put him into coverage. It's not what he does. And by great standards, 99% of great athletes, not just average guys, the great ones, are more Freddie Freeman than Ohtani. They're more Carmelo than Jokic or Wemby. They're more Tyreek and Micah than Myles Garrett or Larry Fitzgerald or Christian McCaffrey or Bijan Robinson. Kyle Hamilton, JSN for the Seahawks. You can put him on the sideline. You can put him in the slot. Remember the late Aaron Hernandez? He could play like 6 positions. Gronk's a tight end. Okay, Gronk is a tight end. Aaron Hernandez, you put him in the backfield. You could put him in the slot. You could put him anywhere. So it's not a shot. It's instructive on Micah. Micah is what he's always been. Stud athlete, 5-star recruit, disruptive pass rusher. And Tyreek Hill is always what he was. Man, can he get deep fast. But very rarely do you get a player, even an all-timer, that does a bunch of stuff well. Christian McCaffrey does so many things better than Adrian Peterson. But if you told me I needed 2 yards and somebody to run over a linebacker, I'd probably take Adrian Peterson. So there you go. Got Belichick New York Giant rumors. Believe it or not. Belichick New York Giant rumors. I'm going to quiz everybody this hour on the show because we always talk about this with young quarterbacks, how it's not linear, it's bumpy, it's up, it's down. Who's your coach? Who's your offensive line? It's very interesting. I'm going to ask everybody watching our show today, you're the general manager, and I'm going to give you every quarterback under 25 or under. I'm going to give you every one. And by the end of today, you have to decide on a $250 million extension. Today's the last day. You get 2 guys. Who would be your 2? Just kind of throw it out there. I'm going to give you a couple minutes to study the midterm. Every quarterback 25 and under. You're the GM. Today, at the end of the business day, you have to make a decision on those 12 young quarterbacks. 2, you get assigned today. You have to.
So there's 12?
It's about 12. I'll look at the number again.
Is Justin Herbert one of them?
No. He's now eclipsed that age.
He's eclipsed 25. Okay.
Okay.
This is setting up so that Caleb Williams is one of the 2, obviously. Yes. I can tell already you love the Bears and Caleb Williams. Now you got me worried. I had liked the Bears against the Vikings, but this soliloquy you started off with, I am a little nervous. I think J.J. McCarthy shows up big this weekend.
Oh, okay. Good luck with that. Today's show is brought to you by our new presenting sponsor, Hard Rock Bet. This is that golden time of the year when it's not just pro football, NBA, college football, college hoops, hockey, all share the stage. There's always something to bet on. If you haven't tried your first bet on Hard Rock Bet yet, there's still time to get $150 in bonus bets if you win. All you have to do is place $5 bet. That's it, $5. If it hits, you not only get your winnings, but $150 in extra bonus bets. And if you're looking for an edge before you lock in, check out the Hard Rock Bet Stats Hub. Trends, it's loaded with streaks, stats to help guide your picks. So numbers don't lie, neither does the data in there. The Hard Rock Bet app sportsbook, it's the only legal sportsbook for whenever you're in Florida. It's also live in Arizona, Ohio, New Jersey, Indiana, Tennessee, Virginia, Illinois, Colorado, coming soon to more states. Plus, Hard Rock Bet offers new promos every single day. So whenever you're listening, just open the app, check out what you've got any day of the week. Download the Hard Rock Bet app and make your first deposit. I'm going to ask you to be the general manager before the end of the hour. You have to pay a quarterback $250 million. 140 of it guaranteed. 25 and under quarterbacks. Who would you give it to? So the Giants fired their head coach on Monday during the show. And I said 2 coaches feel pretty obvious to me. Mike McCarthy and Lane Kiffin. Lane Kiffin coached Jackson Dart in college, the Giants quarterback, and Mike McCarthy works with every quarterback, even won games with Cooper Rush. A lot of pushback on that. Either, Lane's a college guy, which I think college and pro football look very similar today. They didn't 15 years ago. And Mike McCarthy gets more crap for a guy that won a Super Bowl than any coach ever. Bill Belichick's name has surfaced. Belichick was asked about it as Carolina prepares for their next game.
Getting ready for Wake Forest. That's all I got this week.
Has anyone asked you, or players or recruits want to know about your future?
I mean, I've been asked about it from time to time, but yeah, look, I've been down this road before. I'm focused on Wake Forest. That's it. And that's my commitment to this team. And next week it'll be to our next opponent and so forth. But, I'm here to do the best I can for this team.
Listen, I have defended Belichick's relationship with one 20-year-old. I'm not going to give him Jackson Dart 2. Okay? No. I think you can look at Belichick as the world has changed in football, and you can look at one player, Mac Jones. This is what worries me. When Mac Jones was in New England and Josh McDaniels was there, he made a Pro Bowl. Mac Jones this year with Kyle Shanahan has been the best bridge/backup quarterback in the league. Last week he was 33 at 39. He can really play. He's a franchise quarterback. When Josh left, took the Raiders job, and Bill had him, he was awful, unplayable. As many turnovers as touchdowns. So there is a formula that works with young quarterbacks, and it's not saddling upside a 74-year-old defensive coach. It's not. And so I know Lane Kiffin and Mike McCarthy aren't that attractive, but there's a formula to this, and I know Bill was great, but be very careful about memories and lore and tradition. We love to glamorize and romanticize sports, and we just do. Baseball over the last 2 years has grown because of one reason. They stopped looking in the rearview mirror. They just made all sorts of changes. They started looking through the windshield. Baseball is on a 2-year heater. And basketball, by the way, basketball's ratings are up. Well, they put more games on NBC. They have more partners. They've made their product more available, not just on cable. New contract. The NFL does a better job than any sport in my lifetime of always upgrading rules. So, I mean, Tom Brady's last 2 years in New England, Tom Brady had 53 touchdowns. First 2 years in Tampa in the 80s. So go look at Mac Jones, a young quarterback, and the greatest quarterback, young and old, in their years with Belichick, when he had, remember, Belichick in New England at the end was controlling personnel. Tom had nobody to throw to. When Josh McDaniels was there for Mac Jones was excellent. I mean, for a young guy that's not super athletic, he was very good. Pro Bowler. So that's my issue with Belichick. Maybe he could work with a stable quarterback or a stable culture. I don't want him near my young quarterback. Just not interested. McCarthy, Lane Kiffin, heartbeat. Bill may be a legend, but it's rear view mirror stuff to me. J Mac with the news.
No.
Turn on the news. This is the Herd Line News.
All right, Colin, a few weeks ago, I said I was really sick of Pittsburgh. Then they beat the Colts, and then you saw what happened last weekend. Another brutal loss to the Chargers. Colin, they're fading fast, specifically Aaron Rodgers. 52% completions against the Chargers. I mean, Colin, that's the worst for Rodgers in quite some time. With the Ravens on their heels in the AFC North, Mike Tomlin somehow is not worried about his quarterback's poor play.
I'm not going to chalk it up to an off night, but there are no long-term concerns. I'm just not going to allow your words to be my words. That's all.
How would you describe Aaron?
Sunday night was what it was, but I have no long-term reservations about his ability to play the position and play the position at a high level for us.
It's my second favorite bet of the week is the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Wow.
I like, first of all,
okay.
They got beat on Thursday by the Bengals. They're salty. They're a better team at home. Cincinnati's not very good. They're coming off an ugly loss, Aaron's worst game. And the Chargers actually are pretty good. I think Pittsburgh will rebound and they'll win comfortably against the really bad team in the Bengals. Steelers aren't a bad team. They've got holes and liabilities and weaknesses. They still can't run the ball 7 years in a row. but Pittsburgh will throttle Cincinnati.
Interesting. So, Bengals, you saw the big news this week, right? Joe Burrow returning at some point. He's back at practice.
Right.
I wonder if embattled coach Zach Taylor can use this as a rallying cry. Hey, Joe's coming back. We just got to pick up a win or two. We steal one here. We already beat these chumps, right? We're right back in the wild card race. I wonder if with a bye week, this is a huge motivational space for the Cincinnati Bengals, Colin. I mean, why not? Why not us? Everybody in the AFC is losing.
The Steelers, Tomlin's issue has always been he's a terrible Thursday night coach.
That's true.
So when they got beat by Cincinnati, you and I talked about this. Tomlin's great on Monday Night Football. He's terrible on Thursday Night Football. So now we're back to a normal week, not a short week. Pittsburgh's got the better roster, the better quarterback, home field advantage, better coach. Yeah, I think Pittsburgh. Here's what we know about Pittsburgh. We don't know what they are week to week. Don't forget that 2 weeks ago, they destroyed the Colts at home.
Wait a minute. The Colts turned it over 6 times. Come on.
They didn't hand them the ball. They earned some of those turnovers.
Daniel Jones kind of handed them the ball a couple times. But the other thing on the Bengals, Colin, these divisional matchups, second time around, there's some data that shows later in the season, these games are closer because of the familiarity between the coaching staffs, the teams. I would be careful. The number is 5.5. It's a pass for me. Plus, I love to root against Aaron Rodgers. Next story, let's go to Detroit and Philly. This is a great Sunday night football matchup. I got to be honest, I'm a little surprised this is only 2.5.
Same.
A lot of respect in the market for the Lions.
Yep.
I mean, hell, when you smash Washington and score on 7 straight possessions, you have to. Dan Campbell, very excited for the matchup, knows the margins will be thin in a clash of NFC powers.
This is a heavyweight. This is a heavyweight match. And, man, one misstep can cost you this game. Now, that shouldn't make you tight. That shouldn't make you play conservative. Just understand, man, it's going to take all 3 units, and every play, man, you got to give it your full attention and lay it on the freaking line. You can't ask for anything better.
Yeah, I like Philadelphia. It was 1.5. I liked them more than I do 2.5. But I think Philadelphia knows what they are. It's flawed, but they know what they are. I would worry that Dan Campbell had to take over play calling duties last week. That's weird. Don't love that. Didn't love the hire. Don't love that.
So I just, I know Detroit just played outdoors against Washington, but historically, that dome team going outdoors, it's just not as speedy of a team. Amon-Ra St. Brown, not as fast. Gibbs, not as fast. Now, the Eagles are off the night game, again, a short week, right, against the Packers. That was a tough one. I got to check the injuries and the weather as well, but I don't see why. You remember when Detroit went outdoors against the Chiefs? That's just not the same team.
Right.
I don't know. This to me seems like a slam dunk Eagles. Maybe I'm missing something. Maybe there's an injury I didn't see Monday night.
Now, 1.5. At 1.5, it was a top 3 bet of the week. I thought Philadelphia minus 1.5. It's up to 2.5. Philadelphia is the play here.
Yeah. Final story, Colin. I love this one. The Dallas Mavericks obviously fired their GM, Nico Harrison, after the worst trade in NBA history. Well, now it's getting real spicy. There is an NBA writer named John Hollinger who is floating the idea, hey, man, Dallas ain't going to the playoffs this year. Kyrie's not coming back. Build around Cooper Flag. Trade Anthony Davis. Put him on the market. See what picks you can get. And essentially, the fan base, I'm sure you saw, I talked about this on my podcast. Cooper Flag's mom was basically retweeted someone endorsing firing Nico Harrison because the whole arena's booing during the game. And she's like, why do we have to put up with this crap? Essentially, the Nico Harrison trade, there's just a stench lingering. And I hate to say it, but Anthony Davis was part of that trade.
Yeah.
And I almost think you kind of have to move him just to move on from that trade, right? You fired Nico. Now you got to move AD. I'm putting you on the spot here, but do you have any landing spots for Anthony Davis? And oh, by the way, no Laker fan wants him back, just to put that out there.
I don't.
He's still a little overweight. He's still injured. I think he's coming back this week, they expect.
No, I said
defensively, he's really good.
No, I said 2 weeks ago on the show, I watched 2 Mavericks games. He looked heavy. It did not look like he was in great shape.
Yeah.
So, and that earlier in his career had been an issue. Yeah, I mean, I just think Dallas, it just kind of smells as a franchise. It was a bad move. I always said if you want to trade Luka, then you got to get 3 first-round picks, Anthony Davis, Max Chris, maybe an Austin Reeves.
Yeah.
They didn't get enough. I'm not anti-trading him, but you got to get more because I do think the drafts going forward, this next draft, by the way. No, it's one of the best drafts in a decade. I mean, the top 3 picks are like can't-miss guys. The Kansas wing, the Boozer kid, BYU star. Like the NIL is going to make all these NBA drafts going forward much more fortified, much better drafts, much thicker at the top. 8 or 9 guys that can't miss. I was okay moving Luka if I got Austin Reeves, 3 first-round picks, and AD. They just didn't get enough. And then when everybody got hurt, then it makes the trade look disastrous. So I'm not one of these, when the Chiefs traded Tyreek Hill, oh my God, or Micah getting traded. Dallas's defense was bad this year. It's bad last year. I'm for trades, but you got to get more than the Mavericks got.
The problem, Colin, I don't think the Mavericks could go out there and be like, oh, we're going to get 2 firsts for AD. I'm sorry. I don't think anything close to that. I mean, I don't want to say you sell them on pennies on the dollar, but using your theory, if something's not working, you just got to make them just cut bait. They might just have to take a poo-poo platter of guys and a not great first and a second-round pick for Anthony Davis, who, again, at the height of his powers, he's a really good, impactful defensive player. Yeah.
J-Mac with the news.
Well, that's the news.
And thanks for stopping by.
The Herd Lie News.
So I was thinking about this. Ask yourself, what draft picks did we think were going to be pretty sensational players, and they really haven't delivered? I'll give you a list. Travis Hunter with the Jags, Ashton Jenney with the Raiders, and Cam Ward with the Titans. And those are dynamic players, and they didn't do anything. So there's a story. Travis Hunter, they shut him down for the year. He had 298 yards this year, 1 touchdown. Do you really think Travis Hunter, if he went to the Chiefs, the Rams, or the Ravens, would have under 300 yards? That would be, he's a marginal defensive player, really talented. So that's whenever I hear, the Jets and Cleveland have a bunch of first-round picks. My take is that's just giving money in the family to the one guy that's irresponsible with money. The Jags screw everything up. The Browns, Jets, they screw everything up. I don't want to hear about all your first-round picks. By the way, what rookies have actually been really good? Will Campbell going to Vrabel and Robert Kraft, the Patriots. Tyler Warren going to Shane Steichen, great GM, Colts. Emeka Egbuka, Tampa was a playoff team. Gray Zabel, Seattle, well run. I mean, go look at the first round. Everybody said, Cam Ward and Travis, they're going to be unbelievable. Look where they went. The guys that are actually good is the first guy that went to Mike Vrabel. Now, I will say T-Mac, the receiver in Carolina, they're dysfunctional, though less so today than 2 years ago. He's pretty good. But when I hear about all these draft picks, go look at Travis Hunter. This whole flyer on cornerback is dumb. He's a wide receiver. It's an offensive league. Get him the ball. 14 targets, 11 catches, 2 jet sweeps, 1 reverse. He's a super talented player, but he's a receiver and a return man. Get him out of corner. Go look at we thought Ashton Jenney was going to be unbelievable. Travis Hunter and Cam Ward. A lot of these guys are super talented. They went to franchises that don't know what to do with the money, don't know what to do with the talent. Bummer, but it's true. Okay, you're the general manager. You have until the end of today to give quarterbacks a $250 million contract, 140 of it's guaranteed. We'll throw the 25 and under quarterbacks out there and show you how difficult these decisions are. Next, the Herd.